has given also a lot to us. He's given us a topic to talk about, and he's tried to advance the cause of freedom of speech. John, can you come on up?
Well, when I showed up here tonight because I was invited on Facebook, I didn't think I'd be speaking, but I'm happy to offer a few words here. My name is John Medler. I was the spokesperson and one of the co-organizers for the recent Boston Free Speech rally, which didn't end up quite being the event that we had envisioned, but it certainly proved our point that there seems to be a very unfortunate cultural intolerance of free speech in this country, and that's something that me and my partners in this endeavor have been very concerned about, particularly seeing the rise of Antifa over the course of the elections. And we basically just got together and said, hey, we've got to do something about this in our own small way. We're not professional activists, and I don't have any special qualifications or skills. I'm just blessed enough to have parents that raised me with very strong values and a very firm sense of right and wrong. And also growing up in Boston, I was very immersed in sort of the historical weight of living in the cradle of liberty in this country. And again, the thing that I want to emphasize is that myself and my partners, we're just a bunch of young people that just decided to get up and do something in our own small way. And the first rally that we had back in May only had a few hundred people show up. But with this latest thing that we were trying to do, we not only managed to trigger about 40,000 people, but we were featured on national news across the country. So just think about that for a second. If a bunch of nobodies like us can attract the attention of an entire city and even an entire nation, what can all of you do? None of us have any special skills or qualifications, so what's your excuse? Seriously. Now that's really what I want to end on. I'm a firm believer in the power of individuals, and this experience, this sort of wild ride that we've been on for over the past week or so has only confirmed that to me. So I look forward to, I've met a number of people here already that I'm anxious to keep in touch with, and this isn't for myself and my partners in all of this. This isn't over. We're not going to let this be like one spark and then we're done with it, because here's another thing that I almost forgot about. When you have to stand up for your principles, people are going to do everything that they can to tear you down. When I volunteered, when everything started blowing up and the press was trying to tie us to the nasty stuff that went down in Charlottesville, my partners and I in this project knew that we needed a public face to step out there and try to fight back against the narrative. I stepped up and volunteered to be that public face and to step out to the press. I knew that they would try to slander me as a Nazi. I knew that they would try to call me racist. And it was all, of course, false, but I knew that I would have classmates at my school trying to get me expelled. They didn't succeed, but I wouldn't care if they did. Because you can't be afraid of what they'll do to you. You have to be more afraid of what will happen if you capitulate. And that's what I'm terrified of. I'm terrified of what will happen if I don't stand my ground. So it's not about me or us trying to grandstand or anything. Like I said, I'm nobody. But I feel like there are more important things at stake. For myself, for my future, for my family's future, and for everyone involved. You all know this. That's why you're here. But it's a different thing when you become the target. When the spotlight is shown on you and you become, and everyone's calling you a Nazi. So if I'm going to give you any advice, I'd say think about it, really think about what you're getting into and steel yourself. Because once that happens, once the die is cast, once you are actually in the trenches taking their fire, you cannot back down. And that's what I'm going to leave.